Welcome to part 2 of the 60 Tips for Grassroots Football Coaches compilation.
The best coaches are amazing with people. So most of the coaches at the top level are going to have the same amount of technical knowledge and tactical knowledge. There's going to be tiny percentage differences at that level. And at youth level, the technical, tactical stuff is important, but it's not vital. The most important skill at every level and what dictates how good a coach is how good that coach is with people and how good they are with the people that they are coaching, whether they're 6 years old, 16 years old or 60 years old. So learn and think about how you interact with people and develop your people skills, because ultimately that is what makes a great coach.
Instead of having subs that sit there watching the game, especially under 7s, 8s, 9s, try and set up something for them to do at the side. So if you've got 4 subs, set up a 2v2 at the side. It's always good then to ask your opposition if they want to get involved as well. But especially under 7s and 8s, instead of having players there watching because they won't pay attention or take much in, get them playing 1v1 and 2v2 games at the side. If that can be against the opposition, that's even better because it helps with the social side as well as getting them more touches on the ball and getting them more involved on a match day.
Instead of restricting players, saying you've got to play 2-touch or you must do this, use the words can you try to, because this way you're allowing them decision making, you're trying to shape their decision, but you're not restricting them to making decisions that might not be the right decisions. Because if you say to someone you've got to play 2-touch, what if it's not the right time to play 2-touch, but you're trying to get them to move the ball quickly? So start by trying, can you try to move the ball quicker? Or when you're in midfield, can you try to play 2-touch when it's the right time? So this is the first step rather than going all the way to the other end and saying you're on 2-touch. Okay, can you try to do this? When you get one-on-one, can you try to take players on and be positive? Okay, just that little change in language can have a big effect on players. Can you try? Measure your comments you make during a game. So you might leave your phone in your pocket on voice memo, you might get someone to do it for you, but measure your comments and who they go to during a match day. So sit there and go, is it a positive comment? Is it a negative comment? Is it a command comment telling someone what to do? Is it a criticism? Just come up with a little key for what each of these are to get someone to stand there with a tactics board with each player on it and write down all the comments you make. You'll be really surprised that actually the player that stands next to you gets the most comments. And you'll actually see, am I positive to some players and negative to other players? Am I asking questions to certain players? And then see how it changes in the second half. If you've not got someone that can do that, sit there and do it for you. Like I said, voice memo in your phone, in your pocket, and then listen to it back. Okay, it's not always nice listening to yourself back, but you'll learn a lot about your behaviours as a coach when you do this. When doing ball mastery and dribbling practices, use a circle and not a square. So when you've got everyone with a ball and dribbling around and trying to take loads of touches, use a circle because it automatically directs players back in towards chaos. In a square you can hide in corners and on the outside. In a circle you can't. So use a circle for those practices in your ball mastery. Players will get lots of touches that involve decision making because they're going into and out of traffic a lot more often. Whenever you're designing a practice, the first question you should ask is, does this look like a game? So dribbling in and around cones doesn't look like the game. Having players standing on a cone to pass to cone to cone to cone doesn't look like the game. Dribbling in and out of players where it's a bit chaotic and messy does look like the game. And passing where there's interference of players moving so that the attacker has to move to create angles does look like the game. So always think about, does this practice look like the game? If it doesn't, change it so it looks more like the game. Because that is what training is about. Practicing for the game at the weekend so players can be more effective in it.
In September, I am running an online coaching course for Grassroots coaches. This can be for coaches that are level 1, uefa C licence or level 2, and it's going to go through everything you need to coach your Grassroots team. There will be lots of value in this for new coaches as well as experienced coaches. We'll be running over 6 weeks with a series of webinars. If you miss a webinar, you'll be able to make it up as well. But we'll go through things like how to plan your sessions, how to adapt for individuals within your group, especially when you've got players that are at different ability levels. We'll go through formation, small-sided games, how to deal with some parents, how to create a culture for your team, how to develop individuals around the 4 corners to help them physically, technically, tactically, psychologically. We will go through loads and loads of session plans and session design stuff. In my experience, that's what grassroots coaches want. They want help with designing their sessions and how they can do that over a season. So a large bulk of the 6-week course will be working on creating your sessions, making sure your sessions are appropriate for your players, and making sure your sessions are helping players develop. You can sign up and register interest for this course, and then we will be sending out links about how to get involved and get enrolled on the course. It will be starting in September. Hopefully you're looking at the 60 tips videos that we're currently releasing and going through. And you can find more information on the TSC Coaches Club, which is on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook as Seb Tidy. And we'll have lots of free content out there as well. You can already see a lot of free content on our Coaches Club, which, like I said, is on Facebook. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, there's loads on there. Any coaches you think that will really benefit from this course, please share this with them. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you on the course in September.